Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, I hope you are having a good day wherever you are. I know we are all going through the pandemic crisis here in America and around the world. So, like I always say on every show, we're all going through the same thing. We're all in it together. I hope that wherever you are able to stay home. Here in Iowa, we are one of the 22 states where the governor has not yet issued official stay-at-home orders. They've closed things and given people strong advice on what to do, but people are still going out and window shopping at stores like Menards and Walmart. So I am staying home until we run out of milk. That's my plan. And otherwise, it is giving me more time to work on my reselling business, getting things on to eBay. I am having sales, and it's nice to stay busy, even if they're small sales, small profit margins. It is nice to be building my store back up and to have sales every day. So I hope you are working your business, whichever site or whatever sites you may sell on, and that you're getting creative. If you sell clothing, it's not the greatest time for clothing, but maybe you are finding new categories to sell in. It's a great time to expand and try your hand at other things, at other sites. Looks like we're going to be in this shutdown for a while, at least through the end of April, and experts are saying it could go through May too. So keep working your business. If nothing else, just keep listing. You run out of your own inventory, start sourcing your house, post on Facebook, let your family and friends know, hey, do you have donation bags? I'll gladly take them off your hands, and see if they'll just, give you their stuff. Some people are doing that, or you can offer to pay, but do porch pickup. Some people are getting inventory from Facebook Marketplace. So if you need inventory, there are ways to do it. You just have to get creative. So let's jump into today's reselling news, and we'll start with eBay. According to a post on the Auction Bites blog, some sellers are having issues with eBay's fee deferral offer. If you sell on eBay, you know that they put out a post that they would allow sellers to apply to have their fees deferred for 30 days due to the coronavirus outbreak and slow sales. What that means with eBay is when you list things and sell things, there are listing fees, final value fees, store fees. That's why we call it fee bay when we're not calling it glitch bay. But anyway, these fees accumulate, and every month you get an invoice. Now, I pay my fees as I go. Before I withdraw any money from PayPal, I pay my fees first directly through eBay, but I still do get a bill at the end of the month for my store subscription. So eBay put out this offer that sellers could defer their fees. But according to a thread on the eBay boards entitled, "Well, so much for the great eBay deferral program," sellers are reporting that eBay has taken 100% of their fees rather than deferring them by 50%. So that was another thing. Were they going to defer all the fees? It looks like they were just going to defer 50%. Adding to the problem is the fact that eBay has suspended phone support as it sets up customer service reps to work from home. So the original poster wrote, "When this was announced, I have to admit I was really touched and even bragged about the offer on Facebook and other social media sites. I applied and was accepted. Woke up this morning to find that eBay had taken the whole invoice amount, and of course eBay support is down. Why I expected this to work, I should have known better." Now, eBay had announced the deferral program on March 25th, where it explained if your request is approved, 50% of the covered fees on your current invoice will be deferred until the next billing cycle, and the remaining 50% will be due on the subsequent billing cycle. So I guess they were going to defer 100%. Oh, for crying out loud. 50% this time, 50% next. Oh, eBay, you confuse us. In a page eBay set up to explain the deferral fee program, it offered a table with details that are confusing. See, it's not just me. But underneath the table, a bullet point states, if you are approved by March 31st, 2020, and have an invoice dated March 31st, 2020, 50% of the covered fees will be deferred until the April 30th, 2020 invoice, and the remainder will be deferred until the May 31st, 2020 invoice. That's a lot of 2020 invoice. My goodness. This article goes on to say, we also heard from a reader who had similar issues. He said he had asked eBay 2 weeks ago to defer fees due to a lack of sales this month as his family struggles due to COVID-19. Today, as I wake up on March 31st, eBay went ahead and removed every single penny I owed them from my PayPal account. A self-described 20-year eBay power seller with 100% feedback, he said he has nothing right now and can't pay his mortgage or buy food for his family. I will link this story below along with the thread over on the eBay boards because other people, including eBay, are replying. And yeah, it's a mess. eBay, like most businesses, has sent all non-essential employees to work from home. And I would assume they've probably temporarily suspended their call centers, which are mostly run out of the country. So you can't call eBay for help anymore. Not that that was ever really a great way to get help, but it was there. Now suddenly it's not. So let me know if you opted into this program and if your money was all taken or if you have seen your fees actually deferred. Please leave me a comment below. Retail is definitely taking a huge hit, as most businesses are during the coronavirus outbreak, with most non-essential businesses forced to close their doors, either by state or city order, and to send employees either home to work or to lay them off completely. Now, of course, there are stimulus packages in the works. 3 have already been passed. Another one looks like it might be worked on starting in mid-April. Again, all individuals in America who make less than $75,000 a year will be getting checks for $1,200, children getting $500. If you make more than that, up to $99,000 a year, you will get a tiered system a little less than that. And then there are business loans and financing, other programs out there. But with business continuing right now, mostly online, there's an interesting article over on Yahoo Finance that is titled, "This Chart Shows E-Commerce Winners, Losers During the Coronavirus Pandemic." So the article says, the coronavirus is not entirely indiscriminate in claiming economic victims. Some companies seem much more immune than others. Amazon and Chewy are among the conquering corporations, while eBay and Etsy are expected to suffer defeat. Analysts are projecting an overall increase in customers for Amazon, flat growth for Chewy, and declines for eBay and Etsy. Their business models may explain why. Amazon. The e-commerce site and delivery service is deemed essential in many sheltered states and has been given permission to continue operations. With competing brick-and-mortar retail shuttered, shoppers have turned to Amazon for their essentials. Notably, the company is under pressure to raise prices as warehouse laborers strike in demand for more coronavirus protections. Chewy, which is a pet supplier. Brick-and-mortar pet stores remain open for business as essential operation, but Chewy's e-commerce platform offers unique convenience and, many believe, safety. The online pet supplier's retailer could seize new repeat customers in the near term. Now we get to eBay and Etsy. eBay. Spikes in unemployment will likely depress discretionary spending in the near term. Those who can't afford to spend are taking precautions to limit contact with the contagion, which may mean avoiding products from vendors with unknown sanitation policies. And for Etsy, Etsy's position is similar to that of eBay's. The site's offerings are not particularly critical for quarantine survival, and shoppers fear contaminants. Since early March, Etsy has removed coronavirus-related listings such as homemade hand sanitizer and alleged miracle herbs. Now, all this goes to, what do you sell on any platform? If you're selling vintage clothes and Christmas collectibles, I've got a store full of Christmas collectibles, yeah, sales might be a little slower. Now, my sales have been fine because I've added in health and beauty. I've added in essential items that people are shopping for and that may be out on Amazon. So it depends on what you sell. Now, I have heard from people whose sales of vintage and what they normally sell is pretty even. Will that continue as we get further and further into this virus pretty much shutting our country down? Again, we are under orders to continue the social distancing through April 30th, but there's talk that the country may not get back to normal even until June 1st and maybe even into July. So there's a lot of unknowns in the future. And even if you are still drawing a paycheck and have benefits, people are going to start possibly being a little more hesitant to spend that money on non-essentials. Let me know in the comments below how your sales have been in the last few weeks. Have you changed what you're selling, where you're selling, how you're selling? I personally went through all my eBay listings and lowered them to my absolute best price with free shipping. No sales, no best offer, no offers to watcher. I've knocked it down to as low as they're going to get. And if people want to buy it, they can buy it. That way I can kind of not even think about what's listed there and focus on getting the health and beauty items that I have up, since that's what's selling the fastest for me right now. One more thing about eBay, I do want to let you know that they have released a new podcast, episode 84, eBay and You, Managing Our Businesses Together Through Challenging Times. Also, Etsy has unveiled hashtag Stand With Small campaign, also waiving ad fees and offering payment flexibility, which we've talked about before on the show. But according to an article on the eSeller Cafe website, the economic impact of the coronavirus health crisis has been felt tremendously among small and micro businesses that had to close retail stores or saw online sales evaporate as consumers went on buying binges for household and food items. And don't I know it, I just paid my Sam's Club bill from last year. I went on a major stock up spree at Sam's Club before things really started to get locked down. Yeah, that was fun bill to pay. While many online sellers in non-high demand categories experienced significant sales drops, Etsy sellers probably took an even harder revenue hit. The marketplace caters to unique products, custom products, and handcrafted items that just were not part of the buying frenzy over the last few weeks. The Etsy community makes creative and unique items for everyone, and Etsy says that it's supporting its 2.7 million sellers and that the sellers are always their top priority. The typical Etsy seller is a creative entrepreneur committed to building a business while doing the work they love. For many, it is a part-time job. For others, it's their sole source of income. Etsy sellers are the makers and collectors who have turned their creative passions into full-time jobs. They pour their hearts into making beautiful, handcrafted products that celebrate life's special moments and inject joy into the everyday. While brick and mortar stores remain closed, Etsy shops are open for business with 65 million items available in the marketplace. Many of these products are unique and can't be found anywhere else and reflect the spirit and passion of the seller. Shoppers can find a wide variety of products, including work-from-home essentials to games and DIY products ready to ship or available for personalization. To support the unique individuals that make up the creative Etsy community, Etsy is launching a new campaign called Stand With Small. The campaign promotes Etsy's seller community to shoppers around the world that their purchases and support on the marketplace will keep small businesses and people thriving. Now more than ever, these small and micro businesses need that support. The article goes on to say Etsy plans to spread the Stand With Small campaign far and wide, including on its site, through email, and on social media. The company is also asking buyers to help spread the word. We'd love for you to get involved as well. Help us spark a movement by reaching out to your favorite sellers and sharing your experiences on social using the hashtag #StandWithSmall. It goes on to talk about how Etsy is waiving advertising fees for sellers and offering deferred payment options. Etsy will invest $5 million over the next month to drive sustained business for sellers, and Etsy is providing a 1-month grace period to any seller who needs extra time to paying their bills. Most importantly, the company will keep the lights on over on its virtual Main Street. While everyone is talking about social distancing, Etsy wants that human-human connection and commerce to remain alive and well. It is the DNA of their community. The CEO of Etsy, Josh Silverman, is quoted as saying, "Unlike mass retailers, when you shop on Etsy, you're directly making a difference in someone's life while supporting their creative passion. Our mission to keep commerce human is more important than ever. I know our community has the drive and resilience to withstand the turbulence, but they can't do it without you." Etsy's Josh Silverman has also promised sellers that Etsy is here for you, and all of these announcements are part of that strategy to keep sales flowing on Etsy and help its small business owners manage through the coronavirus crisis. Amazon is one of the largest platforms for resellers, both using merchant fulfilled and FBA. Now, recently, Amazon has not allowed everything to be shipped to FBA like they normally would. So they were only accepting food, health and beauty, medical supplies. People who sold media, toys weren't allowed to send things in. They're supposedly easing up on that a bit, but it depends on what you sell, what warehouse it's going to, whatever. But there is a new article up on the website Search Engine Land entitled Amazon FBA Challenges Highlight Broader Vulnerability in E-Commerce Ecosystem. As sellers try to react quickly to ever-changing circumstances due to coronavirus, logistics and channel strategies may change forever. The article reads, "This is definitely a pivotal moment," said former teacher turned entrepreneur Lisa Abel last week. Her business, selling the series of specialized classroom materials she's developed, is in its second year. Abel sells exclusively on Amazon and relies on its Fulfillment by Amazon program for all order processing and shipments. Amazon's decision to stop accepting inventory shipments for non-essential items to its warehouses for a 4-week period has left sellers like Abel scrambling. Further, once unimaginable supply chain disruptions have rendered existing best practice processes anything but reliable. "We see various things, so expect the unexpected," said Frank Koshinash, president of Wonderman Commerce North America. "We've seen an essential FBA seller get disrupted because the factory is disrupted, not Amazon. We've seen some purchase orders from Amazon come through when we would have expected otherwise. It's hard to predict. Non-essential items may take a month or more to ship. Amazon is showing our products will ship in late April or early May," says Bryant Garvin, the CMO of Grove Life, a Nashville, Tennessee-based maker of silicone rings and watch bands. Grove Life sells via FBA on Amazon, directly on its own site, and through small local businesses around the country. "I became highly concerned about quarantining at my manufacturer and decided to restock on all of my SKUs, thousands of dollars in inventory," said Abel. "Now I'm ready to ship, but have nowhere to ship to. This could be crippling on a business." Abel has seen demand for her products shoot up as more parents are looking for homeschool materials while schools are closed. Suddenly, she has no way to restock her inventory just as sales are rising. Abel's situation highlights just how widespread the supply chain challenges have become for merchants, regardless of where their products are manufactured. This article really highlights what we've been talking about here on the show, and that is the supply chain disruption, mainly from China. The coronavirus originated in China. They shut things down. They're just now starting to get back into production, but we're already hearing reports that things that would be coming to America for the back to school shopping season and even fourth quarter are going to be delayed. So if you are a reseller who relies on retail arbitrage, meaning you go to Walmart, Target, wherever, and shop the clearance and then send those things into FBA, those items might not be in the store. So obviously the sellers that they spoke to in this article are larger. They have a more defined product line, but for a lot of resellers who do this part-time or, just kind of getting by, they are doing the retail arbitrage. So the products aren't going to be in store anyway. So where are they going to source from? I think for FBA, again, depending on what you sell, because they do take secondhand items via FBA. So there is that, but it's just an interesting way to think for everyone who does reselling, because when these supply chains are disrupted and people can't find what they want brand new in the store, that's when they're going to come to places like eBay and see if we have them available, either new or gently used. So when people talk about reselling being hit really hard because of coronavirus, I see it the opposite. I think reselling is the one industry that'll bounce back immediately. The supply chain is going to be disrupted and people are going to be very conservative with their money, if they have any money at all. And when people are looking for deals, they definitely come to eBay. So I think, regardless of what the article talks about that I referenced earlier in the show, I think eBay will be poised to do quite well once all of this is over. And Amazon will probably end up doing well for the items that Amazon can source, but I'm not so sure what the future is going to look like for FBA sellers who have to source products on their own that they then send in to Amazon. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about Poshmark. Now, on yesterday's show, I talked about Poshmark's hashtag Poshmark Gives Back TikTok challenge, where they were asking sellers to post to TikTok using the hashtag Poshmark Gives Back challenge, and that Poshmark would donate $1 for each video posted to Feeding America and Food Banks Canada. And I was reading this article, I'm reading it for the show, and then I get down to the point where it says they were going to donate up to $5,000, so $2,500 for each of the charities. Now, I didn't say anything on the show yesterday. I just read it and let it go because I'll be honest, people are very, 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 very loyal to Poshmark. And sometimes if you even look at Poshmark on a side eye, they will come for you. So I was just going to leave it at that. But I did see comments on yesterday's video, and I have seen a lot of comments on Instagram and social media sites, people really trashing this because basically this is a very small amount that Poshmark is donating. Look, every dollar is great. If Poshmark has $5,000 to donate, just give these sites the money and be done with it. But to basically get sellers to give them a free commercial is pretty much what they're asking people to do, right? You have to go in and you've got to create this little TikTok video for them, which is going to take you some time to put together. Use their hashtag. So you're promoting Poshmark, you're basically creating free advertising for them, and then they're going to turn around and use your little commercial as a way to donate a pretty small amount to these Feeding America and Food Banks Canada charities. So yeah, I didn't say anything yesterday, but I was thinking it, and a lot of you were thinking the same thing. There's a lot of talk on social media about it. Like I said, I think it's great for companies to donate, and they should donate. If all Poshmark has is $5,000, okay then, just donate it. Don't have people go on and try to make your little commercial, get free advertising for your site, and then give this small amount. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below. And that's a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and also check out the links below the video. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.